What happens when a celebrity icon refuses to fight back against relentless criticism? This is the incredible story of how Snoop Dogg faced harsh words with unexpected kindness, turning a hater into a collaborator. Stay tuned to discover how one act of forgiveness transformed negativity into a movement that changed lives and inspired a nation. Snoop Dogg was at the peak of his career, loved by millions for his music and charisma. But fame also came with its share of critics. One of them was Miles Carter, a self-proclaimed music critic who made it his mission to tear down Snoop's achievements. It all began at a popular radio station event. Snoop had been invited to speak about his upcoming project, but just as he took the stage, Miles, sitting in the audience, interrupted with a sarcastic comment. "Another album? Let me guess. Same old Snoop, no creativity," Miles said, loud enough for the room to hear. The crowd fell silent, waiting for Snoop's reaction. Instead of responding, Snoop flashed his signature grin and continued with his presentation, ignoring the jab. But Miles wasn't done. He took to social media, posting lengthy critiques of Snoop's work, calling him washed up and overrated. Despite the negativity, Snoop remained silent, choosing not to retaliate. His team, however, grew frustrated. "You need to address this," his manager insisted. "People are starting to notice." Snoop simply shook his head. "Let him talk. I'm not giving him the satisfaction of a fight." The question lingered. How long could Snoop stay silent in the face of relentless criticism? And why wasn't he fighting back? As Miles Carter's relentless criticism of Snoop Dogg gained traction online, the narrative began to shift. Blogs and news outlets picked up on the story, framing it as a one-sided feud. Headlines like "Snoop Dogg's silence sparks debate," "Why isn't he responding?" and "Critics slam Snoop, but the rapper stays calm" started circulating. Fans took to social media to defend Snoop, praising his restraint. "Snoop's too chill to stoop to this guy's level," one user tweeted. Another wrote, "Real kings don't need to clap back." But behind the scenes, some of Snoop's team worried that the negative attention might hurt his reputation. "The internet's watching," his publicist said during a meeting. "People might think you don't care." Snoop leaned back in his chair, his signature calm demeanor intact. "I care," he said, "but I care more about how I respond. I'm not here to tear anyone down." One afternoon, Snoop was scrolling through his phone when he stumbled upon a video interview with Miles. In the clip, Miles doubled down on his criticism, calling Snoop irrelevant and accusing him of being out of touch with modern music. Snoop paused the video and chuckled. "Man, this dude really got time," he said to himself. Instead of getting angry, Snoop had an idea. He called his team together. "Let's do something different," he said. "I want to invite Miles to an event." His manager looked confused. "Invite him? To what?" Snoop grinned. "To a front row seat at Kindness." Snoop's plan left everyone guessing. What did he mean by kindness? And how would Miles react to an invitation from the very person he had been criticizing? Miles Carter sat in his small apartment, scrolling through his social media feed. He was basking in the attention his criticism of Snoop Dogg had garnered. But as he opened his email inbox, he was stunned to find an invitation with the subject line, "An evening with Snoop Dogg, front row seat reserved for you." Miles read the email twice, unsure if it was a joke. It wasn't just an invite to any event. It was for a charity gala Snoop was hosting to support underprivileged youth through music programs. Confused and suspicious, Miles couldn't help but wonder why Snoop would reach out after everything he'd said. After some deliberation, he decided to attend, thinking, if nothing else, I'll see what he's up to. The event was held at a sleek downtown venue, filled with musicians, philanthropists, and community leaders. As Miles entered, he noticed Snoop mingling effortlessly with guests, laughing and taking photos. Miles was escorted to a prime seat near the stage. On the table in front of him was a handwritten note. "Miles, welcome to my world. I hope tonight changes how you see it. Snoop." Before Miles could process the gesture, Snoop took the stage. He spoke about the importance of using music as a tool for empowerment and announced that the funds raised would go toward building recording studios in underserved schools. Miles couldn't deny the impact of Snoop's speech. He found himself clapping along with the rest of the audience, his earlier cynicism starting to fade. After the formalities, Snoop approached Miles. "Glad you could make it, man," he said, extending his hand. Miles hesitated before shaking it. "I didn't expect this. After everything I've said about you," Snoop laughed. "I could have clapped back, but what would that solve? Sometimes, you gotta show people who you are, not tell them." Miles was taken aback by Snoop's humility and grace. "Why would you invite me, though?" he asked. Snoop smiled. "Because I believe in giving people a chance to see things differently. And I wanted you to see me for who I really am, not the guy in your posts." Miles left the event with more questions than answers. Had he misjudged Snoop all along? And what would he do with this new perspective? Miles Carter spent the night replaying the events of the gala in his mind. Snoop Dogg's kindness and willingness to engage, despite the harsh criticism, left him deeply unsettled. For the first time, Miles questioned his motives. Sitting at his desk the next morning, Miles opened his laptop and began watching interviews and documentaries about Snoop. He realized how much Snoop had done for his community, mentoring young artists, funding schools, and using his platform to uplift others. "Maybe I've been wrong," Miles muttered to himself. A week later, Miles made a bold decision. He recorded a video titled "What I Learned About Snoop Dogg and Myself." In it, he admitted to his past criticisms and explained how attending the gala had changed his perspective. "I went into that event thinking Snoop was just another celebrity who didn't care," Miles said in the video. "But what I saw was a man who genuinely wants to make the world better. I was wrong about him, and for that, I apologize." The video went viral, sparking conversations about the power of kindness and self-reflection. Fans and critics alike praised Miles for owning up to his mistakes. A few days after the video was posted, Miles received a phone call. It was Snoop. "Yo, Miles," Snoop said, his tone warm. "Saw your video. Respect, man. That took guts." Miles was stunned. I just wanted to make things right," he stammered. Snoop chuckled. "You did more than that. You showed people it's okay to grow. That's what it's all about." Before ending the call, Snoop said something unexpected. "Got a little project I'm working on. Think you might want to be part of it." Miles couldn't believe what he was hearing. "You're serious?" "Dead serious," Snoop replied. "We'll talk soon." What could Snoop have in mind for Miles? Weeks after their phone call, Miles Carter found himself standing in a state-of-the-art recording studio, the walls lined with gold and platinum records. Snoop Dogg walked in, his easygoing demeanor putting everyone at ease. "All right, Miles," Snoop said, clapping him on the back. "You ready to do some good?" Miles nodded, still in awe. "What exactly are we doing here?" Snoop smiled. "We're starting something new. I'm launching a mentorship program for young artists. Kids who've got talent, but don't have the resources. And you're going to help me tell their stories." The initiative, called Voices of the Future, aimed to give underprivileged youth a platform to create and share their music. Snoop invited Miles to be the program's media consultant, documenting the journey of the young artists and showing the world the transformative power of music. At first, Miles felt out of his depth. "I'm not used to telling positive stories," he admitted during one of their meetings. Snoop grinned. "That's why I picked you. You've got the perspective to see how far people can come. Plus, you know how to grab people's attention. Now, we just got to flip the script." Months of hard work culminated in a showcase event, where the young artists performed songs they had written and produced through the program. Miles stood backstage with a camera, capturing raw, emotional moments as the kids poured their hearts out on stage. The audience, which included industry professionals and community leaders, gave standing ovations after every performance. Snoop took the stage at the end of the night, his voice full of pride. Every kid you've seen tonight is proof that talent and determination can shine through anything, he said. And this is just the beginning. After the event, Miles approached Snoop. I never thought I'd be part of something like this, he admitted. You could have ignored me or humiliated me, but instead, you showed me what real leadership looks like. Snoop smiled. Man, we all make mistakes. What matters is what we do next. And you? You stepped up. Miles nodded, feeling a sense of gratitude he hadn't expected. The Voices of the Future program became a massive success, launching the careers of several young artists and inspiring similar initiatives across the country. Miles, now a respected storyteller and advocate, used his platform to highlight stories of resilience and growth, often crediting Snoop for showing him the way. During an interview years later, Snoop was asked why he responded to Miles with kindness instead of anger. He laughed and said, because hate doesn't fix hate. But kindness? Kindness changes everything. This is the powerful story of how Snoop Dogg turned criticism into collaboration, proving that kindness can transform even the toughest situations. What did you think of this inspiring journey? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'll try to reply to as many as I can. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories like this one. See you in the next video.